Welcome back. Question. What happens when power goes unchecked and citizenship is abused and governments are quietly changing the rules? Kind of sounds like a Netflix dystopian series, but these are actually today's headlines. So let's take a calm and a totally normal look at what's going on in the world today. Next up, over in China, a former senior government official has been sentenced to death after authorities have uncovered more than 13 tons of gold alongside massive amounts of cash, all allegedly tied to corruption. To be clear, this was not a metaphorical gold mine. This was actual gold, a lot of it. In systems where a state controls everything, wealth without protection doesn't make you powerful. The message from Beijing is simple. It makes you noticeable. Next up, Nigeria's Electoral Commission is urging its citizens to obtain permanent voting cards, or they say PVCs, before the 27th election. Why? Because digital systems had failed, names disappeared, and photos vanished. So the solution, naturally, is to make everyone show up in person, because nothing says modern democracy like standing in line to prove that you exist. If you're not registered correctly, simple, you don't vote. And if you don't vote, you're politically invisible. Which is great, unless you like having a say in your future. From paperwork problems to problems that literally fall out the sky. Our next story, we have Israel and Greece, who've announced a cooperation where Greece can now obtain Israeli drones. Because in 2026, the biggest security threat isn't tanks, it's flying lawnmowers with opinions. Drones are cheap, effective, and very annoying to stop. This partnership highlights a new reality. Borders don't protect you anymore. Software does. And while governments are defending airspace, paperwork is proving to be undefeated yet again. And our next story, fraud has resurfaced in Turkey's citizenship by investment program again. Investigations point that inflated property prices, shady intermediaries, and investors discovering that guaranteed doesn't mean what they thought it meant. This is what happens when people treat citizenship like an Amazon Prime purchase. Fast shipping, no refunds. Not all passports are created equal, and all shortcuts usually come with a very long line of consequences. And now, for a totally smooth and natural segue into our next story. Canada has changed its economic views towards China. Tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles have been significantly reduced, at least within a limited import quota. This followed by high-level diplomatic engagement and signals a calculated re-engagement. This is not a dramatic alliance shift. This is a let's not make this harder than it should be type of moment. As supply chains fracture and competition intensifies, countries are choosing access over principles. And the message is clear. Alliances are no longer permanent, they're situational. So let's recap. If you hoard too much gold, governments will notice. Forget your paperwork, you might end up disappearing. Governments are changing the laws all the time, all without your opinion. And it's all connected. None of it is accidental. So when you're ready to understand more about your ultimate sovereignty through second citizenship, proper offshore formations, and more, you know where to reach out. And don't forget, please, to like, subscribe, leave a comment on your favorite article or something probably I've missed. And don't forget, ultimate sovereignty is built, not assumed. So, to health, wealth, and your ultimate keys to freedom, I'll see you in the next one.
This video is sponsored by Bond & Partners. Looking for a second passport? At Bond & Partners, we fast-track citizenship in just 2 to 6 months. We also help you secure residency and establish companies in the world's most strategic jurisdictions. Bond & Partners, where sovereignty begins.